this is extremely important because we are entity beings. But how does that work? What does that mean? So I'm an entity, you're an entity. So, but what does that mean in English? So since we don't really, sit down and look at these words. So we're breaking down this one word that as we go through this series, and this is part three of this 5-part series, and we're looking at the fact that I have this ability to generate, to operate, and to direct my own chi, my own prana, my own pneuma, if you will. And you have that same power, you have that same ability. But the problem is, when we look at the word identity, we don't really see the word identity the way that we should see the word identity. How should I see the word identity? Well, the word identity is the word ID. So the word I is the third eye. So my third eye is for the letter I. So my third eye is what we're talking about. So this is about third eye density. This is about 3D density. So my 3D density establishes what we call an entity. So all entities are 3D densities. They operate in this third dimension, but we create them. So I have created, and so have you. We have unknowingly created these entities, and we are one, and we are an entity. So right now there is an entity inside of your density. That's the result of your identity, what you're looking at. So you have created your own monsters. You have created your own demons, or you created your own angels based upon your third eye. So the problem is, when we're looking at this whole series, how can we direct energy? How can I become a direct energy weapon when there's already an entity there? So the fact that there's an entity sitting, just like the Bible says, there's an entity sitting in the seat of our souls. So your job and my job is to replace the current entity with a new one. That is our current identity. So without understanding my current identity, then we have a problem. Now remember, this is part three of our 5-part series. So hopefully you listen to part one, part two, you listen to all of this part, so that way what we're talking about today makes sense. And again, to purchase the entire series, go to the website, masterteacher33.com at gmail.com. Now, today we broke down something that was extremely important. What did we break down? We broke down magic, and we broke down how words create worlds. And today we're breaking down the secret meaning of the word identity. So why is your identity? Because the word identity has the letter I is for the word EYE, the letter D is for density, and the word entity. So we see the word identity incorporated inside of that word. So once we look at Black's Law Dictionary, we can see that the real being, or a real existence. So based upon the definition of the word identity, it can be defined basically as the same word as a corporation. So in other words, identity means that you are the same as a corporation. Now, a corporation is a fictitious person. So that means, from a legal perspective, you are a system that operates in this fictitious world. So therefore, you are a fictitious entity. So this means that you appear to be real, but you're not real. So you are a fictitious entity. So according to Roman law, and according to the UCC, and according to civil, and according to all of these different laws, you are an artificial person, or you are a legal entity created under the authority or the statute of operating inside of this system based upon frequencies, waves, or vibrations, or symbols, or math, music, and language. What does that mean? That just simply means that we have created a fictitious person. You and I are fictitious people. So now I want to remove this fictitious person. So tonight, let's break this down.